We're nearly done. First of all, before we get into my reflective journal, I'm going to talk about like the pre-production. I found that really challenging as let me show you. So here is the pre-production and the paperwork, which I done here. I found this quite difficult because obviously before when we did like the filming tasks, we had people from our college like groups, we're in groups, so we all had like one paperwork to do. Whereas this time we're all on our own, so like we had literally no help. We had to do it on our own, and that was quite difficult as production paperwork is a lot, and I just really don't like it. I think that was the worst part for me doing the production paperwork. It really wasn't for me. But thank God that's done now. Production went really, really well. I'll talk about that in a minute when I talk about my reflective journal. So in my reflective journal, like basically every day I'll write about and give like a mini evaluation of what I did, what went well, what I didn't like about that day, or like what I did just basically in general. So as you can see here, we started FMP on the 25th of January. And we kind of got like an overall basis of what like the FMP is and what information like it conducts, and just like a yeah, just yeah. So we then like had to think of an idea. I only, to be honest, some people had like loads of like drafts and like different plans and like different ideas, and they had to change it. But I never changed my concept. I stuck with the same one from day one. I didn't change it, so I thought on that behalf it was really easy to not and I knew what I was doing because I didn't have to like change my idea constantly. I kept to the same idea, which I thought was kind of beneficial. So obviously what I wanted to produce a concept, I wrote like who the target audience was, the demographics, why, the purpose. The purpose is to spread and create awareness, which isn't normalized, and I'll talk about like certain triggering points and how to resolve this and give tips and stuff. Um, Here just the concept and the title. Here is basically I was going to do a narration, like a speech over my FMP, like a voiceover. And this was going to be the voiceover, which is very, very long. If you can see here, that was going to be my voiceover. So I was going to be narrating all of this. But in the end, I didn't do that. But I'll tell you why in a minute when I get to the end of my journal. Here we've already looked at my script. So obviously, like during the half terms, I tried to make sure I finished all my like different types of documents. So I was like up to date each week. I feel like for me, I'm really good at keeping on track. Like I may not be behind, but I may not get. I always get things done at the end of the day. Like no matter how late I stay up, I always get my work done. Remember to do the SWOT analysis, which I did at the end. Just talk about like us pitching our ideas and doing focus groups and the opinion and feedback like we got back, which I found really helpful. Like the problem solving log. Here I thought was really cool for my pitch, like the visual stuff. Like here you insert an image and it basically draws upon the colors and it enlarges the colors that you use, and you have like a little color chart type thing in a way. I also spoke about like how to deal with panic attacks, breathing exercises, the way to prevent it. Here is when we started filming, so I mentioned about the problem solving, the things that went wrong about the filming. Here are the body shots that I spoke about before. Here's my new laptop, which came with my old one, my new one. I downloaded Final Cut Pro. My teachers recommended to get like hard drive, but I didn't do that. And I feel like I should have done that. I should have listened, because now like all my clips were all over the place and they weren't in this like literally a folder, which I should have made. And now like I'm not running out of storage, but now I have less storage than I anticipated, because obviously the clips take up loads of storage, and if I bought a hard drive, it wouldn't be on my laptop, it'd be on the hard drive. So during Easter, my talent, well, my main character, like the actress, well, my bestie, but she went away during half term, so I didn't want to waste time during my half term, so I tried to do some shots where I didn't need her full body, I just needed like a hand or something. So I got my other friend to like fill in her place, and we just did like some things you didn't need her face in. So I thought that was really beneficial and useful, and I didn't want to waste time. Here are some shots of the panic attack scene, her spinning around from the toilet, close on her eye when she touches the piano, her vomiting, stuff like that. I feel like filming the panic attack scene was the smoothest thing to film, as we did like loads of test shots, like pre-shooting this, we did loads of test shots. So it just worked well smoothly together, which I liked, because I thought that was going to be the hardest scene to film, but it was actually ended up being the easiest thing to film, as we're very organised from before, of like knowing what shot goes where and what to do. I continue to edit and make sure I ask for feedback constantly as ways I can improve, because I like feedback and I like getting as much criticism as possible, because I like to feel challenged, and I feel like there's like always ways for improvement. I finished my budget, but I thought my budget was really pointless because I didn't find it fun. It was quite boring. It's been like research, like different equipments, how much studio costs, food to cater, location, basically like the benefits of it. But I just thought this was very long and it wasn't really engaging and interesting. But I guess everything can't be fun. But so I spoke about on this day, like I had my theory test. Like by the time I was late to lesson, I did my theory. Spoke about getting feedback on my edit, which was like extremely useful. Sorry. Yeah, so I got feedback from my teacher of my edit, and here was my decision that I made not to include my voiceover, because my teacher said that doing a voiceover, it can like cheapen the shots in a way, and I didn't realize that, because my shots were really strong visually. By adding a voiceover, people do that when their shots aren't good, because it kind of like distracts the audience from looking at it, but they're actually hearing what they're saying. But because my shots are really strong, my teacher was like, it may cheapen the visuals, not make it as good. So this made me think, and I kind of questioned, do I actually do a voiceover or not? But I went with not doing one. I was going to do one as backup, but I didn't have enough time. So maybe when I get feedback of my FMP next week, if I have time, or I will have time, do a voiceover one just to have it, see if it works well or not. Yeah, my teacher also said that I should like cut down a majority of my clips because they were too like prolonged. I also found out how to do like a pop-up text message. I googled like a text message generator, and here you can see I made like a conversation, well, a received message pop on the screen, and I had to like YouTube it. I didn't know how to do it on Final Cut Pro. But doing that, you basically had to like go on the Kia, the effects, and you have to like do the sample color, make it transparent and stuff. It took ages to figure out. It was very like visually. It took me ages to like kind of nail it. But the only downside is that you see a white line here, like a white line border. I don't know how to get rid of that. But I guess it would have to do. Another annoying thing, when I downloaded the animation of the text message, it did it in a GIF, which Final Cut Pro won't let you like put it on there. So I had to convert it to an MP4. Yeah. What else? I also googled like the effects on voiceovers, because here I was really like 50-50 of like, do I make one, do I do animation or not? My teacher said that I use a lot of composition, rule of thirds, symmetry, and he said that was quite I did it unintentionally. like I did it without realizing. I didn't even realize that I was doing all this stuff. So I obviously added it to my research report as I thought, it was good to have as I did it without knowing, and it made my film better. Because one of my strongest parts was composition. I didn't like the custom black screen I did for a transition. So to improve that, I kind of had to go on the video animation and go on the composition capacity and like make it drag the thing and make it like a V shape, and it's like a fade in fade out cut, and I think that looks better for a transition. So this was literally yesterday. I successfully nailed, well, yesterday is the 5th of May. I successfully nailed the audio as I sought help and assistance from my audio teacher, because the majority of the clips were silenced and they had like ambient background noises, but it was just too loud when listening and it wasn't smooth. It really irritated me. I didn't know how to fix it. Um, yeah. I wanted like background music that was like deep, meaningful, and the sound where you can just like you're hooked and drawn in. I then went on YouTube and typed in depressing non-copyright music, and I successfully found the one. I was so pleased with my new background music, as it just fit amazing, and it gave it like a deeper meaning and depth to my edit, which I loved. I placed the music when she started to go on her laptop just before, and it ended just after the panic attack scene. I then lowered the ambience audio of like the nature, the woodlands, the train by 3 MD, because it made a massive difference, as it was really quite harsh to the ear and it wasn't like very pleasing, like it kind of hurt your ears, so I had to quiet that down. My teacher then taught me like X crossover fades, which like it basically overlaps and overlays one another, so it kind of like intertwines them. Um, my teacher also said to add vomiting sound, which I thought was kind of grim. It wasn't pleasant me listening to that. It made me feel sick, but it had to be done because he said that I need to make it as real as possible, as it's what people go through, and he wanted just to make it just a real, better moment. Um, I then wasn't happy with the beginning of my edit nor the end, because I thought it was a bit plain. Like there was no music when the end credit scene, um, and you could only hear the ambience at the beginning of the tube and the park scenes. So we found a perfect match. So my teacher typed in abstract audio, which I didn't even know what like there was such thing as abstract music. I thought this was really cool, as we found the perfect one, and at the beginning, the abstract audio. It's like a train abstract audio, but it's really retchy. It's unsettling, hence the title. It makes you feel uncomfortable, and then at the end we have like some realization, abstract, cheerful audio. So like a juxtaposition of like with contrasting two, which I thought was really fitting. I was like the sound is really mellow and just fits to the moment. So here was deadline day. So here's what I had to do in order to present this to you. Unfortunately, I'm recording this on the 6th of May, which is deadline day, due to the fact I just wanted to get everything done. Unfortunately, I had work today, like a 7-hour shift, so that wasn't really beneficial to do because I was working, so I didn't have time to do my FMP. Yes, I left it to the last minute, but I realistically couldn't finish. I had to finish everything else in order to record this pitch to you. I already spoke about my rough edit feedback in my contextual report for the feedback section, so I'm not going to get into that. But here is the final evaluation of my FMP. So we do like a SWOT thing, which is like your strength, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats of pre-production. So here are my pre-production strengths. I wrote quite a lot. Yeah, I wrote a lot. Weaknesses of pre-production, opportunities of pre-production, threats of pre-production. And then also you go on to production strengths, weaknesses, opportunities. Oh wow. Production threats, and then you move on to post-production strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for your evaluation. I wrote a lot. I feel like I wrote more on the threats and weaknesses, as I wanted to write down everything that went wrong or didn't go according to plan, the things I wasn't happy with, the things that just didn't go well for me. I wanted to write that down because by that going wrong, I then asked for help and feedback, and it just made my idea better. Because I like kind of like pointing on the bad things as well as the good things in it. But a lot, to be honest, there was more. In my behalf, I thought like there's more bad things, but the bad things outweighed the good things in a way. But we've swapped it, and the bad things made it good in the end, if that makes sense. I'm probably waffling, but there was a lot of strengths as well, and opportunities. Like, for example, an opportunity was I found an amazing talent who's not over the top. Her facial expression just portrayed everything. Like the strength of what went well, the shots that I liked, how I found everything, if it was like easy going, just all that. So that is my evaluation, and that is my whole presentation done. Oh, my Wix. So here is my Wix website. The FMP section. So here is my final edit of the unsettling. I took this picture in Greenwich. It's by the Emirates cable cards. I took this because I saw two ambulances, and it's literally kind of symmetrical. Like if you were to chop that image in half, it'll be symmetrical. Well, minus the pole, but I kind of put the eye on top. I thought it was like really cool. I thought this really fit in as an ambulance involved in my film, and I just think this shot looks amazing. So here is my edit, which you will see if you watch it. It's 4 minutes 39 seconds. It was 6 minutes long before, and I had to cut it down. Here is like my feedback. Oh, okay, I'll unprivate that. But my feedback section that I got from my teachers. Here's my rough edit, which I got feedback from. Here we have my pitch recording. So everything is on my Wix page, and I'm going to unprivate that video now, so you guys can, well, if you want to watch the feedback. But thank you all for listening to my presentation for my FMP. It has been a tough journey, let's say the least. Very stressful down to this moment, as I wanted to get everything done and finalise everything, because I didn't want anything that wasn't finished. But thank you for listening.